It's the eliminated time of the 18th season of the incredible Premier League. It's do or die. It's one team that will go back home while the other will progress and play the loser of the qualifier one. Can Bumrah silence Gill and swing the game around in terms of the Mumbai Indians' favor? Because there's a very interesting stat out here, Orko, for you. Mumbai Indians have never gone on to win the IPL when they have played the Eliminator. Your thoughts on that?
Well, certainly a surprising stat, but when it comes to Mumbai, you do expect them to change certain things. They have big players, they have players who can, step up when it matters. So you do expect them to do well. And I think among all the four teams, they are the ones that are more familiar with being in the playoffs and winning them all together. So I think that confidence would boost them up and also scare certain oppositions at that point of time because they are the Mumbai Indians. They know what it takes to win from here. So if records are meant to be broken, I think Mumbai is just the team you would need to do that.
Absolutely, the records are meant to be broken. But Karthik, on the other hand, for the Titans, have the floodgates a little bit opened in the last couple of games, conceding more than 200 plus runs and not being able to chase? Because you were in the right hot seat in terms of the Gujarat Titans, certainly making it to the top two because you had two games in a row, home games in a row, ended up losing both.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a name given by a former filmmaker called Nagesh Kukunur. His production house was called Stability is a Curse, and that will apply to Gujarat. They had so much stability in their top three. 70% of their runs were coming only from
Correct.
Butler, Sai Sudarshan, and Shubman Gill. That all of a sudden now the focus is shifted to the other areas that weren't working. And then suddenly realizing the bowling was good. Like Siraj and Prasidh Krishna was in fact the highest wicket taker not until a long time back.
Correct.
And unfortunately, what's happened is on these wickets where these 200 run decks, they just seem to get hit because teams that have nothing to lose are batting more aggressively. And as a result, I think what we've so far seen is a temporary setback to them because teams, if they're in the final and they have a lot more at stake, I don't think are going to play as free. So they're going to look at, okay, saying if 180 is a target, let's look at 190 to get 10 runs above par. But if you look at the way the other teams played, like Sunrisers and some of these other teams that have, like CSK, see teams that don't matter and teams that have already been out of the competition, so they're playing with this complete wild abandon. So as a result, I think Gujarat might have also lowered their guard, and as a result, you see a lot of runs that were going. I don't think it's an indicative of their season. They've otherwise had a good season.
Absolutely, they did have a good season so far. That's the reason why they're into the knockouts as well against the mighty Mumbai Indians. Now, Orko, the Mumbai Indians versus the Gujarat Titans, talk about two top quality sides. Can the Mumbai Indians finally crack the Gujarat Titans code in the do or die clash? Because they have struggled against the Titans. And this time around, two games they have faced. If you look at both the games, a comprehensive victory earlier in the season at Narendra Modi Stadium, while at the Wankhede Stadium it went a rain-affected game, went into the next day, eventually won by Rahul Tewati and others, and that went to the Gujarat Titans' favour to 2-0. The Mumbai Indians have a score to settle Hardik Pandya against his former franchisee.
Definitely, it'll be a very interesting clash to watch. And as we said, the stakes are higher than before. And with the previous fixture being such an interesting one, you do expect these two teams to lock horns and come hard at each other. So it'll be an interesting clash, and only time will tell us to what outcome comes out of it.
Absolutely. What comes out of it is only time will tell. But question comes on to the replacements, Karthik. Is Kushal Mendes like to life for somebody like a match winner of Joss the Boss?
Absolutely not. And see, with Joss Butler, you're looking at somebody who's a prolific, a leadership kind of a
Leadership,
candidate.
absolutely.
And he's got 24% of the runs for Gujarat Titans this year. So that's a huge void to fill. And looks like if they have to fill an overseas slot with somebody who can also potentially keep wickets, this might be the choice. But yeah, it will not be the same Gujarat Titans lineup at all without
So
Butler.
now are you looking towards the opening pair more than the top three so-called this season?
See, I'm now looking at the overall side because they've also got an opportunity recently. Like I said, that like as we were speaking earlier, and I kind of felt that this is a good time for them to look at, okay, Sai Sudarshan can still give them the kind of starts that he's been doing, as much as it's been in partnership with someone like Josh Butler. But if Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill can still bat the way they've been doing, they see that there's a lot of impetus coming from Shah Rukh Khan, who's batting in the middle order. He scored a 50 recently, about 30 balls. So that way, Shah Rukh Khan he's got a couple of opportunities primed up just before the knockouts. So that way, I think Gujarat have at least switched on all of the lights in the circuit there, because there were some lights that have not even warmed up. And I think some of their best players are still yet to come into form. I'm hoping Rashid Khan can do that. Because I always feel that someone like Rashid Khan can sometimes even be a better batter than a top order batter, given the way he bats and given the amount of risk-free cricket that he's able to play. He's very easily, and against, I think one of his best knocks in IPL 2023 came against Mumbai Indians, where he scored 70, 80 odd off 30 balls. This was, I think, one of the last league games.
And if I'm not mistaken, was in the losing cause as well.
It was a losing cause, correct? It was a losing cause. So, yeah, that way I think Gujarat, just because Butler has gone, it's not like they're a weak side. They just have to warm up some of their other bases, like someone like Rahul Tewatia or somebody like Shah Rukh Khan. They just need the right impetus, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to also show that they are the unit to die for, because they've been in the finals in 2023, so close, won the IPL in 2022. 24, they had a very indifferent year.
Correct.
25, here they are. They were in the top two, but yeah, one RCB's. I don't know if it's just a Jitesh punt kind of a thing, but I don't know. Margins are so small that can result in now them being.
So are you hinting towards two people that went to the podcast and made their words right, because Shashank Singh and Jitesh Sharma?
Wow, I'm just amazed at the way Shashank Singh had that clarity of mind that this is the team that I'm going to be part of and this is the team that we're aiming for. It just speaks volumes of how Punjab has changed, because Punjab has got some very uncharitable comments, by players. Like, it could be Rishabh Pant when that interview with Goenka was aired, or even somebody like Ravichandran Ashwin, or someone like Virender Sehwag, Glenn Maxwell. Everybody's not got great things to say about Punjab. So that way, I think as a franchisee, a big redemption is due. And I'm just thinking that it might be a good opportunity for Punjab. 2014, they came very close, despite a Ridhuman Saha 100. They just couldn't use that to win. But yeah, I'm gunning on Punjab. I'm part of the Red and Blue Alliance, which is basically RCB, Punjab, and Delhi. So one of them will win. Delhi's gone. But yes, I'm
so yes, hinting towards a new champion. They came really close in 2014 rather, only for Manish Pandey to take it away at his home ground for the Kolkata Knight Riders. But replacements for the Mumbai Indians as well, Orko. You have Johnny Bairstow who's replacing Ryan Rickert. I'm very excited to see how Johnny Bairstow, Rohit Sharma opens. Similarly, just like I asked Karthik, is Will Jackson like to right replacement is Charita Salanka?
Well, definitely in terms of skill sets, he's like to like, but again, the quality, the caliber, and of course, the recent form that he has put, I think it'll be a big miss. They certainly would miss the left-handed, that the aspect towards left-handers which Will Jacks brings, because he's more like a bowler who is tailor-made to bowl for the left-handers. He always comes in whenever there's a left-hander in front, he gets the wicket. So I think they'll miss that aspect of him, maybe knowing that they have a Sai Sudarshan in the opposition, or Rutherford in the opposition. So that would be missed. But that being said, Asalanka is also a quality player. I mean, he's not new to this T20 circuit either. He's maybe comparatively untested in the IPL, but he's someone who has given some good knocks with the bat. And also, as a leadership point of view, he has done well for Sri Lanka in the recent past. So I think Asalanka would perfectly fit into the shoes. Maybe not exactly as a like, but he would be enough to get the job done. And if you look at Bairstow, again, he's someone who's got some good form of late in the county circuit. He was doing pretty well, and excited to see as to how he does. If he opens with Rohit, which is very much likely, that will be again a wonderful pair to watch.
Absolutely wonderful pair to watch out for. Rohit Sharma, Johnny Bairstow opening. And if any one of them goes berserk, then they will get a flying start. And then you have Sky Tilak to take it forward. Karthik, as of now, as you can see in your screen as well, 5 games have chosen so far for the Gujarat Titans as their best 5 games. Out of this, which is your best? I think that game where they chased down 200 plus against the Delhi Capitals without losing a single wicket, is that the best out of the lot?
Amazing game, right? It just showed how much dominant they are and why their opening partnership is so good. And someone like Sai Sudarshan has been such a revelation this season for Gujarat Titans, because the guy strikes at 155. If you look at his earlier years, 22, the title-winning year, he was at 105. Then it went to 117, then 115. All of a sudden, he's in a different cluster altogether, 155. So almost 50% of the balls he's attacking. So it's a completely different, gameplay. And I'm actually feeling, I'm sorry, Arka, in terms of the Mumbai Indians kind of, this similar game happened, if you remember, in 2023 in, I think it was Q2, where I think Mumbai had first bet Lucknow in the Q1 in Chennai, and they went to Ahmedabad. My only fear is if Gujarat bat first, and these are all these 200 type decks, right?
Correct.
They scored 220, 230. When you were talking about Charita Asalanka, my only question was, okay, who's going to hit for Mumbai Indians?
Correct.
As much as you have Tilak Verma, who's also struggling for form, the form that he had for India is slightly gone. And someone like Johnny Bairstow been out of form for 2 years. So across formats, Rohit Sharma is a very pale. He's never been in form in T20 over the last 7 years. He has his 1 or 2 odd good knocks. So Mumbai are not in the best shape if they have to go chase a 220, 230 kind of a total. So to me,
it has to be Sky.
It has to be Sky, and there's too much depending on Sky or somebody like a Namandeep or Hardik Pandya to come and score at the right at the end. And we've seen that someone like Hardik also in a chase, if you put spinners to him, like it happened versus Gujarat Titans in the Ahmedabad game, Hardik struggled. This has happened even in 2024, where Hardik is chasing a total and is just struggling to get the ball away.
Yep.
So I think if you look at scenarios and situations, Gujarat will want to bat first. Once they bat first, the game is theirs.
Absolutely. The game is there. If they bat first, score a 200 plus total, as you rightly mentioned, scoreboard pressure is always there in a do or die game. But Orko, coming to you for the Mumbai Indians, plenty of games to look forward to because they were in a winning streak at one moment. They won that on one-off game in the first hour of the competition against Kolkata Knight Riders, bundling them out and quickly chasing it down. 4 runouts or 3 runouts in a row, defeating the Delhi Capitals at Kotla, probably changing the fortune of their game as well. Hammering Rajasthan Royals as well in Jaipur. Your thoughts, your pick, what was it? Is it the one in Kotla where everything changed for the Mumbai Indians?
Definitely, I think that was the game that made Mumbai Indians enter the playoffs. To be frank, and if you look at the record that they have, a pretty startling one. They've beaten every single team except the teams in the top three. So they
Correct.
certainly have done that evaluation that they need to accumulate points, and they accumulated it against the lower ranked teams. And to start with, they stalled the juggernaut of Delhi Capitals, because ever since Delhi Capitals, that KL Rahul celebration against RCB, and they have certainly somehow looked at a downward spiral. And for Mumbai, the entire opposite happened. They came back after the Ashutosh wicket, those 2-3 runouts in like no time, and suddenly Mumbai just fired themselves up and they are right into the playoffs. So I think
Mhm.
that game was what set them up. And if you look at a comprehensive win, they have plenty of them as well. Against Rajasthan, they bundled them out for a very low score.
Correct.
At the power play itself, they got 5 to 6 wickets. Even against KKR, that Ashwini Kumar spell. So they have a
Correct.
bunch of highs, a wonderful set of hot spots to watch out. But I think the game against Delhi is what set them up to light up the tournament.
100%. And at this moment, Karthik, over to you in terms of hot seat. Both the teams, as I said, it's quality sides, now have a few problems in terms of replacement. At this stage in this season, who is your real MVP of the IPL 2025 for the respective sides? Surya Kumar Yadav or Shubman Gill?
I think I'll go with Sai Sudarshan as well as Surya Kumar Yadav. With Shubman
Okay.
Gill, I think as much as he has more runs in those 10 matches, had a higher average of about 56 or so. But I think Sai Sudarshan has been a revelation for them because at least Shubman Gill is a player who's been playing in the IPL since the
And
last
is
5
this
years.
red hot form that has earned him Indian call up?
Absolutely, because Sai Sudarshan, in fact, if you remember in the 2023 edition, he scored a brilliant 96 against CSK in the final.
In the final.
So the guy has the game, just that he has to bat fast. And I think it's because of his ability where he's pairing along with like a left-right pair, it's added a lot of value. Because someone like Shubman Gill also slows down between balls 21 and 30. The amount of slowdown that happens for Sai Sudarshan has actually not been that much. He's still attacking at the same attack percentage from what I've seen. Because 140 is a strike rate for the first 10 balls, then another 140. It goes down to 130 for the 21 to 30, and after that it goes to 177. So I think
But in that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but in that, they play low risk, high reward kind of a cricket.
absolutely, and both of them are able to do that, the kind of shots that they say. But given I can only
Exactly.
pick one, and the other day I think Sanjay Manjrekar or someone tweeted that Sai Sudarshan's control percentage was 100 for a knock which was above 200 strike rate. This is the kind of dream that a lot of the purists would want if they want to watch T20 cricket. So that
Absolutely.
way, I think if I had to pick one between Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan, I'm going to go with Sai Sudarshan. And yeah, Surya Kumar Yadav definitely for Mumbai.
Okay, Surya Kumar for the Mumbai Indians. Sai Sudarshan has been a revelation. That's the reason why he has got an Indian call up for the Tour of England as well. Players to watch out for is what I'm heading towards, both of you. You have given your picks. Let's take a look into that. Tilak Verma and Shah Rukh Khan are your picks, Karthik. May I know the reasons behind that? Two differential picks, I must say.
Differential just from a fantasy standpoint, because in fantasy you don't exactly go only by form, you also go by who's hungry today, what is the
Correct.
opportunity. So given that angle, Tilak Verma has a lot to prove. He is in India's T20 squad. He scored a couple of hundreds in the recent series against South Africa. So now when he goes back, he's going to be judged on his recent IPL form. It's a good way to finish the season, and maybe like a good knock here in a crunch game. He will be looking to perform. So I think at 4, Tilak Verma will be looking to prove himself. He'll have a lot more on his shoulders. Very similar role for someone like Shah Rukh Khan. If let's say Gujarat need that momentum, they're going to bring Shah Rukh Khan, maybe bat him higher up in case the point of entry is the 15th, 16th over. He got a couple of opportunities recently when Gujarat's top order collapsed. So I'm just hoping that these two young guns have been. I mean, like for someone like Tilak Verma at least made it to the Indian side. But someone
Correct.
like Shah Rukh Khan, he went for such a high price in the 2022 auction, 10 crores. I was actually thinking, what would he do with that 10 crores, because he stays in Chennai. So the whole point was, I thought he's going to be the next big number 6 player for India, but that has not
Okay.
happened. So I'm just thinking the last 2 knockout games, it's a great opportunity for them to reinforce their stamp and show their value. Sometimes it's just like 1 or 2 super important knocks in crucial conditions that wins the cup and also wins you attention. So I'm going to go with these
Absolutely.
2.
Okay, you've given your thoughts on these two as well, but are we going to see Shah Rukh Khan roll his arm over as well? Because the previous game we saw a little bit of glimpse of that. He has been very regular in TNPL as well. But Orko, over to you. Jasprit Bumrah, Rashid Khan on a given day, they are match winners.
Definitely, and that's the reason why I picked them because Kamet Dia, Kamet the man, that's the kind of statements people associate with Bumrah, and you would expect a player like him. Even if you look at the fixture in total, the previous game, Bumrah was the one who literally brought them back into the game, with number of rain interruptions, and suddenly that Bumrah spell, Bolt
Correct.
also stepping in and suddenly knocking over 3, 4 wickets, and Gujarat were in a complete muddle. So I think that's what would be crucial even now, and knowing that Gujarat have that kind of batting which hardly loses wickets, you do need someone to grab wickets out of nowhere. And I think no one can do that better than Bumrah to do that
Absolutely. And
in
you said
important
about that
moments.
encounter in Wankhede Stadium. Sorry to interrupt, but this season, despite missing a few games at the start of the tournament, 17 wickets for Jasprit Bumrah. Economy in this format, 6.33. A face-off everyone wants to watch. Jasprit Bumrah versus Shubman Gill. He was cleaned up with a ripper of a delivery in the previous game. He's lethal in the power play. Similarly, as Karthik mentioned, Gill is an anchor. Who wins that battle?
Well, again, that's a very tough call. If you look at the way Bumrah's been bowling and also the risk-free cricket which both Gill and especially Sudarshan has been playing, I think it's going to be a wonderful battle. But if you look at the only failure which Sudarshan had, it was against Mumbai. I mean, he got out very early. Apart from SRH, if you remember in the game in Hyderabad, I think that was the
Correct.
only 1 or 2 failures he had. So Mumbai do know how to crack that code of Sai Sudarshan maybe, and given the fact that there is a knockout pressure around and the lad being a bit young, I think these experienced bowlers would only look to pounce on them. So it'll be a wonderful battle of nerves as well as to who stands up in this important race.
Battle of nerves, 100%, but two big players, pressure will be on them. I think Sai Kishore has been somebody they have gone for ahead of Rashid Khan this season just because of the form. I'm sure Karthik would have loved to say about Rashid Khan as well this season. But my picks have been pretty easy because of the both of your picks as well. Two captains. How on earth have you left them alone? But you have given your justification because of fantasy pick. Karthik has gone for big match players. Arko has gone for Jasprit Bumrah has been said by Orko. Hardik Pandya, Shubman Gill are my two picks. Can Hardik face his GT in a redemption and get the revenge? Because Mumbai Indians need to get a victory this season, and it's in a big stage. They have to do it in the do or die stage. Otherwise, they're out of the competition. The loser gets out. Hardik's captaincy will be key, as Karthik mentioned. The middle order of Mumbai Indians is looking bleak at the moment. All eyes on Sky. Will Hardik bat higher up the order? Similarly for Shubman Gill. He has not scored big runs in the last couple of games. The pressure will be on his shoulders alongside Sai Sudarshan as there's no Josh Butler. So I'm putting these two on the sides. The captaincy in a big game will be crucial as well. What about the battles? Three mouth-watering battles they've gone for. Let's take a look into that. Mohammad Siraj versus Rohit Sharma is my battle number one. Surya Kumar Yadav versus Rashid Khan is my battle number two. Shubman Gill versus Trent Bolt is my battle number three. Karthik, over to you. Three battles. Any additions, or which one are you definitely watching?
I'll be hooked on to seeing Shubman Gill versus Trent Boult because once the ball comes in, and Trent Boult has this thing where he's able to bring the ball, and we've seen that with Ruturaj Gaikwad. Sometimes technically
Rohit
correct
Sharma.
openers, even with Rohit Sharma, so technically correct openers are flummoxed still by the way Trent Boult bowls. And I think if they're able to get past that threat, that's it. If they're batting first, then a lot of runs are there for the taking because in white ball T20 cricket, your white ball swings only for the first 2-3 overs. And
Correct.
Mumbai has all necessary ammunition, at their disposal with Deepak Chahar or Trent Boult to make the ball move. And I think that will be the only threat that they will face because outside of that, as much as Jasprit Bumrah is there, I think as long as Gujarat are able to pace their chase well if they're batting first, I think it's probably a replica of the 2023 Q2 is what I'm hoping.
Qualified. Okay, so according to you, that is the case. But Orko, just like Karthik mentioned about how they played Jasprit Bumrah, do you think they will be watchful once again, the GT batters against Bumrah, negotiate them? Or will this look at the way Josh Inglis played the other night, Jasprit Bumrah, and go all guns blazing against him?
Well, I think they will be watchful and they are known to doing that. They certainly select their set of bowlers as to whom they should target and whom they should not. And even if you look at the game versus KKR, they were watchful a bit against Narayan and Chakravarti, but they went after the remaining bowlers with a lot of ease. So even the brand of cricket that they play, intelligent cricket as one would call it, I think they would be watchful against Bumrah, especially with the new ball if he comes up early. But other than that, every other bowler, be it Chahar or Bolt, of course, Bolt of course poses a threat in the first over. But other than that, Bolt, Karan Sharma, and everyone else are bowlers who can be handled by batters of such ability. So I think Gujarat wouldn't have much of a problem outside the power play, apart from someone like a Bumrah.
Absolutely. So you're saying they will continue playing, being watchful. Swing is the key. As Karthik mentioned, first 3 overs, the new ball swings. Deepak Char on the previous day was hobbling off the field, didn't take come back. So his fitness will be key. He has an injury record. He has an injury record in IPL history as well. But talking about the predicted playing 11, starting with the Gujarat Titans 11, let's take a look into that. I think one forced change, Karthik, Josh Butler off, Kushal Mendes in. That's the only change. Why the rest of the players pick themselves?
Yeah, I think as this is the choice that they have, they can't really do much about it. Kusal Mendes and Josh Butler are not in the same league, but Kusal Mendes has been somebody who's done well for Sri Lanka on and off, and he comes into a high pressure game. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting to see what will be the approach because I've seen some Sri Lankans come in and go bang bang, like
Mm-hmm.
Manuka Rajapaksa for Punjab Kings in
Correct,
2022.
correct.
So Kusal Mendes is a more, Kusal Mendes and Pathum Nisanka are more like technically correct batsmen, relying on timing. So I think that way it's a direct fit into the Gujarat top three. But I'll be interesting to see is he able to fill in the shoes for Josh Butler.
Absolutely, that's going to be key. You said about Sri Lankans going bang bang. They also have a in the bench also Dasun Shanaka. He can go bang bang if it's required as well for the Gujarat Titans. That looks like a good 11, but they have to play as a unit. What about the Mumbai Indians? They have plenty of replacements announced. Let's take a look at the 11. Johnny Bairstow comes into straight away into the 11, also takes the gloves Zorko at the top of the order. Similarly, Charita Sananka was tempted. Will he replace Will Jacks? He does for me. But my question is, where does he bat according to you? Is he batting at number 5 where he bats for Sri Lanka?
Well, that's where he should. I mean, why would they want to tinker with a position which he's used to, I think? And even the kind of batters they have, I felt that Tilak Verma was batting too low. There were occasions where he used to come out at 5 or 6, but he's a player who can, be most suited to play at number 3 or even number 4. So I
Okay.
think if they use Suya at number 3, then Tilak should bat at 4 and not lower than that. So for that, they need to give the finisher role to Asalanka to pair up with Hardik. And Namandir is a batsman who can bat at any position. I mean, you have
Correct.
seen him open, you have seen him play at number 3, even at number 6 and 7. He just comes and blasts the opposition. He's an underrated pick for like the last 2 seasons, not very much mentioned, sadly. But I think Namandir as a finisher also has a very crucial role, and Asalanka has to do the same. And whenever given the ball, again, the left-handers, if Gujarat do play someone like a Sundar also, so there'll be an extra left-hander. But
Hmm.
other than that, Rutherford and Sai Sudarshan, these are the two players against whom you would expect Asalanka to come up with an over or two. Even Namandir, for that matter, again, an off-spinner could come up against the left-hander. So I think these are the players in the lower order who would have a good role. But again, you certainly can't compare with Will Jacks because of the impact he had for the Mumbai Indians. But they would just hope that Asalanka steps up whenever required.
True that, but when you talk about the spinning department of the Mumbai Indians, the most underrated cricketer in terms of bowling all-rounders, I feel, is Mitchell Santner. The way he varies his pace, my goodness gracious me. But playing 11 is done and dusted. Time to put both of you into the hot seat. Predictions time for a do-or-die game. Orko, starting with you, Mumbai Indians versus the Gujarat Titans. The winner progresses to qualified 2, which is happening at the moment, the qualified 1, but the loser goes back home. Your thoughts on that? What would you do?
Well, I think Mumbai have a better chance purely because the record that they have in the playoffs, and they are someone who's not new to this scenario. I know they have not won altogether, coming from the eliminator and ending up with the trophy.
Hmm?
That is something they haven't done before, but I think they have the team. Maybe they have saved their best for the important moment which is coming up, and perhaps Mumbai, given the experience, given the big guns they have all it takes to go, the distance, and certainly for now past the eliminator.
So what's your percentage?
Maybe 50 to 48 in favor of Mumbai.
50 to 48 in favor of the Mumbai Indians, says Orko. Over to you, Artik. What is yours?
Well, I think if Gujarat are batting first, it is 65-35 to Gujarat. And
Okay.
even if Mumbai are batting first, I get the feeling that they may not be able to. Generally, when they're setting totals, right, they're not in the best frame of mind. They end up with a slightly subpar total. Even the other day,
Okay.
because Namandir and I don't know who else was there. They were and Surya Kumar Yadav. They were able to score a lot of runs towards the end. And as a result, when you're going and hitting at the end against inexperienced bowlers, a lot of runs came. So I think in that particular occasion, Delhi Capitals were just very scared in a knockout
Mhm.
game. Mumbai, as Alko just said, they have this aura around a knockout game, but their DNA has changed since the 2020 auction. They're a very very infrequent side. They don't even qualify to the playoffs. They've qualified once in 2023, and this is 2025. So in 5 years, they just had 2 playoff qualifications. The earlier one they've lost. So I think this is not the Mumbai Indians of the old as much as they have 7 Indian players in their ranks. I still think they're a pretty weak side when it comes to squaring off against Gujarat in a place like Ahmedabad.
Okay, so your thoughts are 65-35 for the Gujarat Titans. I must tell you, very many fans who will love your prediction because everyone wants a new champion. So if Mumbai Indians are out, the possibility of having a new champion of RCB or the Punjab Kings increases because you still have Gujarat Titans who has just won the trophy once. Everyone wants the PBKS was the RCB final as well. Thank you so much, Karthik. Thank you so much, Orko, as well. It's a do-or-die eliminator clash at Mulanpur once again. It's the Gujarat Titans versus the Mumbai Indians. The winner progresses to the qualified 2. The loser goes back home. Sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much and bye-bye.